So now in this video, we're just going to take a quick electrical property measurement of this inductor here. So of course, we would expect to measure the inductance in millihenry. All we got to do is hit the power there. We put in a slot. There's other attachments that you can put onto here, but we're not going to look at that in this video. Now, when I hit the power button, this is an LCR meter, so it measures inductance, capacitance, and resistance. It measures it at frequency. So there's 1 kilohertz right there. That's what it's showing. I'll zoom in a little bit. But we got 1 kilohertz. We can change the frequency that it tested at. So 10 kilohertz. And you're not going to see the inductance change a whole lot, but it does vary a tiny bit with frequency there. And we keep going. It started at 1 kilohertz when we applied power, but it actually measures it at a lower frequency right there, and 120. So we're back to 1 kilohertz. So now, that is the inductance. We can just press the LCR auto. Looks like I got to do it twice. And you can see it actually has a little bit of capacitance, which changes a lot when it comes to, that was only nanofarads, now it's picofarads. So higher frequency, capacitance goes way down. And now at a lower frequency, you can see it's got a higher capacitance. So charge is kind of building up on it, even though it is an inductor. If you have a circuit that's really sensitive to that, that could cause a problem. You might have to get a different inductor that doesn't build up that much capacitance. Now we hit the LCR auto again, and we can see the resistance. So this is more important for the circuits that I make, that I know how much resistance that is providing. So 1 kilohertz, you can see 25 ohms, but just like with capacitance, you're going to see that in this case, the higher frequencies are going to raise the resistance. So like capacitance, it changed a lot, but it's going in the opposite way. We're getting more resistance that the component has at higher frequency right there. Now we're down to 100 hertz, and it looks like we got about 25 ohms of resistance, even if we don't have it at a high frequency. There's 1 kilo ohm. Looks like it held pretty steady. I think it will always provide at least about 25 ohms of resistance. But again, that amount of resistance influences circuits if you don't take it into account. And so that's one reason why I like this tool. It's the DE5000 right there. But I don't recommend just everybody buy one of these. Just if you really want to know all the electrical properties of the component, you might have to compare other ones to see which one will work better in some situations than others. But for the most part, you don't really need this. You can kind of tell what is working and what isn't without it. For the most part, it's kind of a lot of money to invest just for using it once in a while. So in any case, hope you enjoyed. Make sure you check out one of the other videos I posted on the screen, and check out the links down below. They all help out a lot. I'll see you in the next video.